Downtown Madrid, this friendly capital city is a thriving metropolis where the diverse regions and cultures of Spain meet. Familiar examples of Spain's proud food heritage found all over the world are on display almost everywhere you look. But when it comes to Spanish cheese, it's all a bit of a mystery. There are hundreds of wonderful cheeses made in Spain, but most of them are unknown to the rest of the world, despite going back centuries. We're going to reveal the fascinating story behind some of the best of them. Spain is the second largest country in Western Europe, and its high inland plains cover more than 500,000 square kilometres. The scorching hot summers and cold winter extremes of this plateau once proved ideal for breeding indigenous cows, goats, pigs, and most importantly of all, sheep for the Spanish wool trade. The wool trade dominated the European market for almost 700 years, and its legacy is a wonderful variety of ewe's milk cheese. The nation's most well-known cheese is Manchego. La Mancha is derived from an Arabic word meaning land without water. But despite this, cheese has been made here since ancient times. These plains southeast of Madrid are where the fictional character Don Quixote once roamed. He was a mad knight and saw windmills as monsters and used to charge them down on his horse. This is La Mancha. The secret behind the favourite food of Sancho Panza, Don Quixote's trusty sidekick, is the exclusive use of milk collected from the local breed of Manchego ewes. I'm travelling through this sparse, unpopulated countryside to visit one of the region's most respected Manchego producers. The 1,500-hectare El Jarron ranch has been run by the same family for 5 generations, and these days produces 20,000 kilograms of cheese every year. Juan de la Vega is a family friend, and he has his own view on why this cheese is in such demand.
It has the characteristics of the Mancha land and all those special characteristics, climate, food, and all those things for the best cheese.
The raw milk is rich in solids and fat and is gently warmed to 28 degrees centigrade before lactic starters and calf rennet are added. The curds and whey are then reheated before the liquid whey is drained, leaving the moist curds to be pressed for several hours. The cheesemakers of La Mancha traditionally drain the young cheeses in hoops lined with plaited braids of local esparto grass. As you can see, this symbol is still used in the modern hoops. cheese is aged in special temperature and humidity-controlled maturing rooms where the rind is regularly wiped with olive oil to prevent the mould from forming on it. Minimum maturation is just 60 days, but it's much better after 6 or 9 months. El Hareng has a flock of more than 1,600 ewes. But with a lactation cycle of just 4 months, only 300 are milked at one time. This ensures a regular milk supply. Each family has a number marked on their fleece. And after the ewes have finished milking, it's quite amazing to watch how mum and offspring find each other, simply by calling out. And there's no room for freeloaders. Spain has many unique ewe's milk cheeses, but there are also hundreds of cheese types made from goat and cow's milk, and even a combination of milk types depending on the season and availability. How do we know? Because the Spanish government is so concerned that traditional cheesemaking is becoming extinct. They commissioned a report to look at cheesemaking across the whole country. They travel by train, foot, and even horseback to document every single cheese made in Spain. If you look at this fair at Trujillo, it's living proof that traditional cheesemaking is still alive and well. For a cheese lover, this is a fantastic sight. More than 100,000 people make a pilgrimage to this medieval market square for the 3-day annual cheese fair every May. Trujillo has a remarkable history and is known as the cradle of the conquistadors. Dominated by an ancient fortress at its highest point, Trujillo is an awe-inspiring setting and provides a rare chance to sample many of the nation's best cheeses. It's really encouraging to see a young crowd of cheese enthusiasts like Danny Perez. Why do you think, when you've got so many different varieties of Spanish cheese, you can't find them around the rest of the world? I mean, it's easy to buy French cheese, Italian cheese, but when it comes to Spanish cheese, hardly anyone knows about it.
Well, I think that's a tough question, but I would say that the Spanish cheesemaker is not really interested in selling abroad because they sell most of their production here in Spain. And we are happy to have our cheese for us.
After years of decline due to rural depopulation, the future of traditional Spanish cheese is looking up, with young Spaniards developing a taste for their heritage. Your generation is appreciating that industrial cheeses are not the ones to buy. Traditional cheese is the way to go.
Well, I could say yes, but I also have to say that not for being industrial, I mean they are bad cheeses. They are good, they're nice cheese, but the traditional one has a difference in the taste. Yeah, I would say so.
Do you have any problems in Spain with cheeses made from raw milk? Are the authorities trying to change the way they're made at all?
No, the European Union was a bit concerned about the raw milk thing, but no. We have regulations, DO regulation councils, so they give us very strict measures to manipulate their milk, to mature it. So no, I don't think it is.
The fair showcases many benchmark cheeses, almost 20 of which are controlled under the denomination of origin regulations. This system guarantees their origin and how they're made. literally have to go to extremes, Tierra de Extremos, or Extremadura, meaning land of extremes. I'm heading west towards the Portuguese border, to an area that historically has always been a no man's land. It's frontier country, home only to flocks of migrating Merino sheep. And that's just why I'm going there. True to its name, it's incredible how quickly and dramatically the landscape changes. It's here that the Merino breed was originally developed for its prized white fleece. They produce tiny quantities of milk compared to most breeds of dairy ewe, but what they lack in volume, they make up for in quality, which is one of the secrets behind Queso de la Serena. And it's going to be another long, hot day for the shepherds of this Merino flock. Each ewe will yield an average of just 250 mils of milk, which is not much when you realise it takes 7 litres to make a cheese. What makes this delicious cheese even more unusual is the use of a traditional old-fashioned vegetable rennet, extracted from a rare thistle. Under the DO system, La Serena is made only from raw merino milk and coagulated with a thistle rennet before being carefully cut and drained in the hoops. And then matured on oak shelves. Cheese is turned every day for 2 months to prevent the rind from becoming sticky. As you'll soon see, the lace girdle that surrounds the rim is there for more than just decoration. It will eventually help La Serena keep its shape. The thick orange leathery rind conceals a luscious buttery interior with a distinct flavour from the thistle. The thing I really love about La Serena cheese is its understated simplicity. It's just pure ewe's milk, a little bit of salt, rennet made from this local thistle, and 2 months of very careful maturation. But the best thing is the way you eat it. You just scoop the top off and dig into it, and it's absolutely delicious. First of all, you carefully slice the rind off the top by cutting around the rim with a knife. And then you gently fold the lid back. This cheese is at its glorious best when it has ripened to a thick, creamy custard texture. Then it's easy to scoop out. It's hard to think of a more deliciously sensual cheese than this. Like all traditional cheeses, a sense of identity is important when it comes to defining a cheese from a particular region. One traditional cheese that dates back to Moorish times is Zamorano, which takes its name from the Romanesque town of Zamora. famous for being matured in underground cellars, people round here go to extraordinary lengths to keep its reputation alive. For me, these steps lead to an Aladdin's cave of cheese.
Wow. Bueno, pues esta es nuestra reserva especial.
Fantastic. It's here that Felix Pastor keeps his treasured personal collection of Zamorano, which is left to age for up to 18 months before being considered Grand Reserve status.
Vamos viendo esta parte de aquí, esta otra, luego aquí también tenemos, y aquí, y este por ejemplo sería...
It's good.
Tiene una larga tradición, ¿no? Lo que pasa es que se pierde la tradición del queso artesano, se pierde...
Zamorano cheese has a long tradition, but this was lost with the arrival of the big cheese industry. The denomination of origin regulation came in 1993, and in this regulation, they stated that it must be made only from Chara and Castellano ewe's milk, sheep native to the area. This company has been breeding sheep and making cheese for 7 generations.
The cheese is kept for family and friends, which definitely sounds like a matter of pride. In all, there are just a few producers of this traditional cheese. Traditionally, shepherds in this region practiced transhumance, which meant continually moving their flocks to new grazing pastures according to the season. But these days, that nomadic life has disappeared. Ángeles Santos Alfonso is responsible for tending the family's flock of 600 Chura ewes, and each yield up to 2 litres of milk a day. This modest farmhouse dairy keeps everyone busy. And there's nothing fancy about some things in this part of the world. Just look at this gate. With its unique Spanish heritage, it's perhaps not surprising that Zamorano looks similar to Manchego. But its flavour has more bite, and there's a healthy rivalry between the two. And what is the difference in production?
The cheese is really similar, and so is the taste. But the main difference is the rennet. The ewe's lamb rennet, and a long time ago, these sheep were transhumans, which means going up to the mountains in summer and down in the winter. But Manchego sheep stay in the same spot.
An intriguing aspect of many Spanish cheeses is their origin in remote, inaccessible regions. Also, unlike most other cheeses, Cabrales is made high in the Picos Europa in the north of Spain. Here in the stunning Picos Europa mountains in the north of Spain, the intensity of the landscape is matched by the intensity of the local cheeses. The most famous of these is Cabrales, and in my opinion, it has to be the world's strongest blue cheese. This blue dates back thousands of years, and it's usually made from raw cow's milk, but at certain times of the year, it's mixed with goat or even ewe's milk. It takes its name from the village of Arenas de Cabrales, which is nestled in an idyllic valley surrounded by towering peaks. And the cold, damp environment, 800 metres above sea level, is ideal for growing unique blue mould. The mighty Picos Europa are peppered with natural limestone caves, which are used to mature this naturally bluing cheese. It takes 3 months to mature Cabrales. This pretty alpine town is a tourist mecca and proudly shows off its international claim to fame. There are shops selling Cabrales everywhere. Be warned, the first experience of tasting this famous greeny blue cheese can be quite overpowering, and it's definitely not for beginners. A close mounting cousin of Cabrales is Valdeon, a far less aggressive cheese from Leon made from pasteurised cow's milk with just a splash of goat's milk. The locals claim it was originally made to fortify the cow herders during the winter as they protected their stock from wolves, which still roam high in these mountains. The addition of goat's milk adds a distinctive, lingering goaty tang. The only remaining producer of Valdeon these days is located in the remote village of Posada de Valdeon. This charming mountain retreat has a permanent population of 15. But during the summer, 5 hotels are filled with passing hikers. Not surprisingly, more than half the village is employed in the Valdeon dairy. Valdeon is packed in plane tree leaves, a traditional technique once used for Cabrales as well. The leaves once provided a convenient form of wrapping for cheese to be carried down the mountain, and their tannin also helped to control the growth of unwanted bacteria. The success of Valdeon in international markets has been truly remarkable. A testament to time-honoured artisan skills. The only problem when it comes to trying many of the other great Spanish cheeses is that you'll probably have to visit Spain to find them.